Welcome to Grumpy Wolf Reacts. I am Grumpy Wolf. Today I'll be reacting to Trick the Fox, a poem by Ren. I have seen it, so it's a short one, so I'll watch it twice anyways. But I don't see many people doing these, that's why I'm doing them. I just find it amazing that his genius started so young. I'd like to know, what's the earliest thing on YouTube right now of his? If this is the Trick the Fox stuff, is it? Or if there's something else out there from even younger. Because I know he was making beats and stuff before he was doing music himself. But without further ado, make sure you go to the page of the artist Trick the Fox, like and subscribe. Also go to Ren's page, like and subscribe. I will be posting the link to this video in the description. What I do is not a substitution for the original content. I just like to share my opinion and hopefully converse with y'all in the comments or in a live chat one day. But let's keep trying to be the rising tide that lifts all ships. Alright, let's get into it.
I wrote a poem last year, and I never do poems, so I'm going to do a poem over some guitar chords. The meaning of this life can change. It's just how you observe it. Like you can't stop a wave, but you can learn to surf it, so it's all down to interpretation. Remember, one man changed the laws of physics with a 3-letter equation, and so I take this principle and I apply that to life. For every moment's an opportunity dressed in a different disguise. To be aware of our potential, that is to open our eyes. The only force that works against us is the ticking of time, but I accept mine. I stare death in the face, I take hold of his bony fingers, I hold death and embrace, for to accept death is to be free from fear, and we can fill the gap with love, and time just seems to disappear. For what is the use working a 9-to-5 job, trying to build some sort of status for ourselves before our time is up, if when we get there, we feel the same as we did from the start? Material wealth will never quench a thirsty heart. We spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes we forget to just exist through sheer persistence. Buddhist monks will spend years in deep meditation, and saints will contemplate God and all of his creations. Scientists will try to summarize with an equation. Consumerists will try to buy the ticket to salvation. Well, this is my theory. This is my school of thought. The meaning of life is much easier than once thought. You want to know what it is? Yeah? Well, my theory is the meaning of life, it is to simply live. And if I am wrong, then Lord please forgive, but it seems so simple, it's obvious, it makes me want to shout out that the meaning of life is this second, this moment, right here, right now.
Sorry, excuse me. Love what he has to say.
Help us to fix our
Just skip that garbage. I'm so confused. Didn't y'all see me skip it?
Heckle fake when that semi-clap. Live with the Section 8, now that's a city flat. These politicians bet the state don't give me back. Just give us back our real estate and you can take your pity back. No piggyback and bullshit pockets. Use the wallets, use the comments, shoot his comments to the ones who sacrifice.
When did I do that? Oh. So funny.
I wrote a poem last.
Alright. Oh, I really need to update this computer. It was not purposed for this. It was not purchased for this purpose. That's what I meant to say. And it's old. But, I had a friend who was watching the videos telling me they are choppy, so I do apologize for that as well. I have a great internet connection, so I don't think it's that. I just think it's the outdated technology plus a basement apartment. Might have a little to do with it. But, I'm going to try a couple things and hopefully it'll make it a little better until I could get better stuff. Alright, let's get into it and I'll do some talking.
I wrote a poem last year, and I never do poems. So I'm going to do a poem.
All your stuff is kind of poetic, man.
The meaning of this life can change. It's just how you observe it. Like you can't stop a wave, but you can learn to surf it. So it's all down to interpretation. Remember.
That, right there. You can't stop a wave, but you can learn to surf it. Go with the flow. That's what life is. I mean, it can be compared to many things, but it's a wave. Sometimes it's just there, flowing smoothly. Sometimes it's crashing into walls and freaking carving the Grand Canyon. Not really a wave, but that's a river. But, yeah. The perspective he has never stops amazing me, no matter how many times I see it. I listen to this all day for like 2 hours at work. Just sitting there waiting for lunch to happen. Had it on repeat off to the side. I was like, screw it. You know what? I like it. Haven't seen many reaction videos, if any, to his Trick the Fox stuff, especially this. But, yeah, so I'm like, let's see what happens. Being upfront with you about it, you know, this is not my first watch.
Remember, one man changed the laws of physics with a 3-letter equation. It's all down to interpretation. Remember, one man can't stop a wave, but you can learn to surf it. So it's all down to interpretation. Remember, one man changed the laws of physics with a 3-letter equation, and so I take this principle and I apply that to life. For every moment's an opportunity dressed in a different disguise. To be aware of our potential, that is to open our eyes. The only force that works against us is the ticking of time. But I accept mine. I stare death in the face, I take hold of his bony fingers, I hold death and embrace, for to accept death is to be free from fear, and we can fill the gap with love, and time just seems to disappear. For what is the use working a 9-to-5 job trying to...
That whole bit with death right there. Man. Gave me some new perspective the first time I paid attention to that line, and it, it dug in. So many things, opportunities I personally didn't take in life just because of fear of failure, wanted to do music, and you got the adults in your life trying to give you, I think I've said this before in a different video, but they're not trying to talk you down or be negative. They're just trying to give you a realistic perspective of that goal. I think if they were more supportive, I don't know if I could have been on his level, but maybe it could have been enough to be my companion and help me get through some stuff. I didn't have it rough. I was very lucky growing up. But, grab death by his bony fingers, I give death an embrace. Because if you accept death, you lose all fear. Teenager. I want to say 16. Someone knows the age of that he was when he made this. Please let me know in the comments. I've been trying to figure out. I've been going off. I know it was before he was sick, so I've just been going off of the higher end when he said something about 17. I forget age when the illness started. But yeah, any of that information, please let me know in the comments down below. Let's get back into it. I'm going to go back before the death line.
Hold of his bony fingers is the ticking of time, but I accept mine. I stare death in the face, I take hold of his bony fingers, I hold death and embrace, for to accept death is to be free from fear, and we can fill the gap with love, and time just seems to disappear. For what is the use working a 9-to-5 job, trying to build some sort of status for ourselves before our time is up, if when we get there, we feel the same as we did from the start? Material wealth will never quench a thirsty heart. We spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes we forget to just exist through sheer persistence. Buddhist monks will spend years in deep meditation, and saints will contemplate God and all of his creations.
If you sit there and think about it, I have been recently about how much time of our lives we give to work just to pay bills, and then work to pay bills. It's a very broken system. You should not have to work for more than half of your life, almost the majority of your life. If you start at 18 or younger, I mean, come on. It's more than a third of your life. Or, sorry, I think I said that right. It's just, and then you break it down to hours in a day. And most of us aren't lucky enough to be able to do what we love and have that support us. We have to try and work what we love into life around the schedule of trying to make a living. 8 to 12 hours a day for some people, sometimes even more, some less. But I mean, think about it. You come home, you wake up, get ready for work. Do what little things you can before that. Then you go to work. Get a couple breaks in there, a lunch. I'm lucky enough, I have a great boss, man. Just treats us well. But I've had horrible bosses. I've had a lot of jobs in my life. And just think about all the time spent learning new crafts to either be let go because company got bought out, and once they got what they needed out of us, they cut us loose because they were being bullshit. Or having a boss so micromanaging that he changed shit every day. Like, you're building something one way, and he's like, comes out and it's like, oh, we should do it this way. Okay. A couple of days later, you're doing it that way. He's like, no, we should do it this way. And it's how it was the time before, and I had to leave. So much time wasted. We don't have a chance to actually live life and figure out ourselves. And I think it's kind of an intentional plan. Maybe not originally, but now, today. They don't want us free thinking. They don't want us to have open minds. That's why they put us into so many boxes. Republican, Democrat. Whatever the case may be, there's ways to divide us over and over and over again. The more division, the less chance we have to, and we're fighting each other over these little petty differences. Some of them aren't petty, but a lot of them are. And we're just too busy focused on that shit to try to make things better for everyone. Not just the people in America, everyone. That should be our focus. Every decision made shouldn't be based on if it's going to make fucking profit. Profit is stupid. Money is stupid, in my opinion. That's where I differ with Ren, where he thinks. I mean, I agree that it can be used for both good and bad. I just think if we didn't have it at all, and we worked out a system, where everything is available to us as long as we're providing to society some way. Ren is giving us entertainment. He's also helping us look at things differently and opening our mind. I first saw him on Black Pegasus' channel, Mr. Biscuit. He's got a channel going now, and I've watched all his Ren videos, and he's doing a read-through of Animal Farm, and he's done the first 2 chapters so far, and I would listen to those yesterday. He's not really a reaction channel. He's freaking intelligent. I wouldn't have got that just from the initial thing. Like, after listening to him talk on Pegasus' channel, I thought he was, I was like, all right, dude, this guy is deeper than what you would think from the surface, Like, I have different reaction channels. Like, I have Vibe Reacts and the Slice Girls or Cyber Skull Media, for the fun stuff. And then there's Nox for Nox Hill if you want in-depth breakdown of lyrics and bars and all of that stuff. With Mr. Biscuit, he's trying to, I think he says it's insights and epiphanies, which epiphanies are rarer, but yeah, I just listening to him, man, it's been very entertaining, very insightful, very educational, and I think that's kind of what I was missing from channels. Not saying any of them aren't, he's just doing it on a different level, and I really appreciate it. And y'all should go check out his. I think it's Mr. Biscuit Speaks. I don't know. I just enjoyed sitting there listening to his insight into Ren's music and the book so far. I need to watch his other stuff. But yeah, I've been talking for a while. Let's get back into the song. If you're still here, much appreciated.
We feel the same as we did from the start. Material wealth will never quench a thirsty heart. We spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes...
Sorry, just touch on that right there. Material wealth will never quench a thirsty heart. No matter the amount of money. He says it in, I think, Cujo Beatdown. Like, the greedy and the needy and the greedy, they just take and they take, and it doesn't feel the hole in their soul. That wasn't word for word what it says. But it's kind of the same aspect, and he had that perspective that many years ago. No matter the amount of wealth you amass, it may make life easier, but it's never going to fill those empty spots that will make life meaningful, make it worth living, worth, being. People always say, like, what am I going to leave behind? he has all of this. He's going to leave behind a legacy. What's going to be our legacy? What are we going to be remembered for? Are we going to be remembered for sitting quiet with our hands over our eyes? Are we going to stand up and start doing what's right for humanity, for everything on this planet? Which one? What are we going to do? Okay, now back into the song.
For ourselves before our time is up. If when we get there, we feel the same as we did from the start. Hold of his bony fingers, I hold death and embrace, for to accept death is to be free from fear, and we can fill the gap with love, and time just seems to disappear. For what is the use working a 9-to-5 job, trying to build some sort of status for ourselves before our time is up? If when we get there, we feel the same as we did from the start. Material wealth will never quench a thirsty heart. We spend so much time searching for the meaning of our existence that sometimes we forget to just exist through sheer persistence. Buddhist monks will spend years in deep meditation, and saints will contemplate God and all of his creations. Scientists will try to summarize with an equation. Consumerists will try to buy the ticket to salvation. Well, this is my theory. This is my school of thought. The meaning of life is much easier than once thought.
Can we drop?
You want to know what it is? Yeah?
No?
Well, my theory is the meaning of life, it is to simply live. And if I am wrong, then Lord please forgive, but it seems so simple, it's obvious, it makes me want to shout out that the meaning of life is this second, this moment, right here, right now.
Can't say enough. Sorry, good boy. Want to say hi, Chop? Oh, thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. Say hi.
This game.
One of the
You're not
one
ready
of those
for it.
people who watching the videos said their dog was staring at you. Yeah, they said it in the comments earlier. You wanna say hi? Huh? You wanna say hi? That's a yawn. That wasn't hi. You know what? It's a long video already. If you're still here, no, I can't do it. I love this song. So, that's an example of what I would do if I just watched the videos, you know. I think it's kind of interesting. I will label them rewatches instead of reactions, or maybe in-depth rewatch instead of a reaction. You know, you can have more to talk about when you've seen it or heard it a bunch of times. So maybe that's what I do with the stuff I've already seen. Let me know in the comments down below. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I was on a soapbox for so long. I hope you enjoyed or were able to tolerate it enough to get through. Sir? Please stop. You have been outside and you had dinner. Hold on. I'll give you some belly rubs. He's like, I need attention. So, without anything else, thank you again. Make sure you go check out the original content on Trick the Fox and Ren's channels. I hope you enjoyed what you did. Give me a comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time, have a great night.